Welcome everyone to Fighting Tiger Field here on the campus of Breckinridge County High School, where Breck Live brings you live streaming coverage of the championship game of the 3rd Region Tournament. Welcome everyone, my name is John Kennedy here again with my partner Rob Garrett, and we have a matchup of 2 district champions here in our finale as the champions of the 9th District, the Owensboro Catholic Aces, who will be our visitors this evening, will tangle with the champions of the 10th District, the Muhlenberg County Mustangs, the home team on tonight's scoreboard. And both of these teams have had some adversity to get to this contest, as Muhlenberg County was able to escape their first-round meeting against Meade County, as they were able to put 5 runs on the board in the bottom of the 6th inning in that game to take a 6-5 lead over the Green Wave and advance. Last night, a 2-0 shutout of one of the favorites in this tournament, the Apollo Eagles, as Peyton Carey went the entire way for the Mustangs in that shutout victory. Owensboro Catholic, a similar route here in the 3rd Region Tournament. Their first round game, they were able to run rule Edmonson County by a final score of 12-0. But in last night's game against Breckinridge County came out and took a 4-2 lead and held it for a majority of the game until, again, that bottom of the 6th inning, which seems to be maybe a theme for these two teams, as Owensboro Catholic was able to score 7 runs in that inning and put away the Fighting Tigers, a final score of 9-4 in that game. So two teams that if you'd have told us at the very beginning of this tournament these two would be playing in the finals, wouldn't be too surprised by it here, Rob.
Not at all, John. This is sort of the cream has risen to the top on both sides of the bracket, and if you're playing in your evening, like John just said leading into this game, both teams capable of a late game rally. So this one is not going to be one game that you might think, oh, a couple runs early and it's over. They've both shown in this regional tournament that they have the ability to get it done at the business end of the game. And on the way to that, both teams having played 2 games, I feel like Muhlenberg County has been more battle-tested than Owensboro Catholic. The game against Meade County, where for a little bit it looked like they were leaving early, and then against, like you said, Apollo, another top team in the region, those are 2 very difficult games to get the focus sharp, whereas Owensboro Catholic, the run rule against Edmonson County, and then not that we might be too happy to admit this, but they may have been looked at as a little bit more of a favorite against Breckinridge County last night. And I just feel like Muhlenberg County has the tougher test that they've passed so far, but all that goes out the window in about 5 minutes.
I was thinking about the game that Catholic played, actually the last 2 games they played, and the thing that came to mind to me was a quote that came from Remember the Titans, when the coach is describing his offense, and it's a very plain, just run right at him, run right at him. He describes it as Novocaine. It's like you run the same thing over and over to perfection, and eventually it's going to work, just like Novocaine. That's what the Aces did over the last 2 games. They didn't do much spectacular against Edmonson County. It was good at bat after good at bat, good at bat. They did get a home run in that game, but it was good at bats, one after the other, that led to the run rule. Last night, they didn't panic, even though they got down by 2 runs. They were down by 2 runs with just 6 outs to work with. They kept their composure, and over again, they were able to finally break through with a pinch hit single off the bat of a player that really hadn't had a whole lot of stats. Ben Highland came in with the bases loaded. There were 2 outs, and the left-hander, he was batting .235 on the season, lifts one into left field, and the dam broke as they were able to take down the Tigers. We're going to step aside as we do our national anthem, and when we come back, we will have our first pitch. An excellent crowd to the left and right of us as Muhlenberg County and Owensboro Catholic a couple of moments away from getting started here, and taking a look at Muhlenberg County. Again, they will be serving as the home team as they were at the top of the bracket. They will be sending out the right-hander Talon Cartwright to pitch this evening as Cartwright comes in with a 2.60 ERA. He's thrown 32 1/3 innings for the Mustangs so far, 24 hits allowed, 15 runs, only 12 of which were earned, 42 strikeouts to 10 walks. And we spoke earlier about Peyton Carey's dominant performance last night that pitched them past a very impressive outing by Noah Cook and Apollo, but one of those cases where Muhlenberg County was able to force a couple of miscues on the Eagles, and they took advantage of them, taking a two-run win against the Eagles. Of course, they'll be without Carey this evening. They'll also be without, in a pitching capacity, they'll be without Sumner Shelton as he threw the first game against Meade County. But otherwise, they will have access to the rest of their arms, and they're going to start it off here with Cartwright, who started the first two games over at third base for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and coming into this one, you mentioned the sort of unfortunate happenings for Apollo. I mean, that's part of the game. Just coming into this championship game, though, my hope is, and probably the hope of everybody watching, that it's a moment of brilliance that wins the game versus a miscue for one of these young guys out here.
We saw last night in the nightcap, of course, that game didn't start until a little bit past 8 o'clock. When the sun goes down here, apparently a fly ball high into the air is very difficult to track, as Owensboro Catholic had a couple of those balls into left field yesterday that allowed Breckinridge County to take that early lead. Should have the sun out the whole time, as this one is about underway, and the first pitch is high for ball one, and we are underway at 6:03. Grayson Flynn leading things off for Owensboro Catholic, as he has the previous two games. And Cartwright out of the zone, 2-0. A 323 hitter is Grayson Flynn, as that one is called a strike, and now a 2-1 count.
And he's somebody, if he gets on base, a threat on the base path to make a way around. He's rapid.
Cartwright in a rock and fire method there as he comes in high there, 3-1.
In the championship game, early moments, they matter just as much as the later ones.
As another one out of the zone, and Flynn will walk down to first base, a leadoff walk.
Now batting the right fielder, number 25, Jackson White.
Jackson White now comes up playing right field this evening. Started last night's game on the mound for Owensboro Catholic. White, a 281 hitter coming into this tournament. Owensboro Catholic, a 28-7 record after their two victories here in the regional tournament. Ended the regular season as the number 11 team in the coaches poll and number 8 in the RPI rankings in the state of Kentucky. A pick over to first is low, but dug out over there. Good play by Thomas to keep it in front of him.
Yeah, Cartwright's already aware of Flynn, had the pitch out and then the pickoff attempt.
Runners off and going. The throw down by Carver is in time as the tag is applied, and Flynn is erased on the base paths. Great throw there by Carver to get him.
And he's slow to get up out there at second base as well. We've been fortunate not to have any real injury situations in this tournament, and hope he's going to be all right.
He was wearing one of those oven mitts on the hand. It looks like, and it's hard to tell here, is he's still laying down there at second base. Comes to his backside there, is now up on his feet.
And he's definitely shaking that right hand.
Hopefully that's nothing that'll hinder him from playing the rest of this game. It is a 1-1 count. And a little bit of a conversation there as Owensboro Catholic is having a conversation there with the second base umpire.
Yeah, and Flynn, as he's walking away, sort of motioning back, unhappy about something that went down out on that play. We can't, of course, really see through all the bodies in our way. We're right here behind home plate at ground level.
The only thing that I can think of other than he's maybe arguing that he might have beat the throw was maybe an obstruction call if the fielder may have had a lower leg blocking the bag, but nothing called there, and that's a pitch out of the zone, 2-1. As Cartwright now with no one on base for Owensboro Catholic up against Jackson White. And that pitch a little bit low in the zone, 3-1.
And you would think that having Flynn off the bases would sort of settle him down, but 2 straight balls.
That one a little bit more deliberate of a fastball in the zone. Swung on and fouled to the left side. And the count runs full.
Still wondering as this was going to go. Do you think he's got the confidence to go to a breaking ball here on the full count?
We'll find out. The pitch out of the zone, a fastball misses. And a second walk here in the inning.
The catcher, number 4, Brady Atwell.
And White was very quick out of the batter's box. That's not quite as fast as some of we've seen so far in this tournament, but I kind of want to maybe give the umpire a chance to make the call or force the hand, I guess.
Brady Atwell now steps up. First pitch to him is a breaking ball that breaks just out of the zone. Last night, when Muhlenberg faced with Apollo, it was a wider strike zone that they were dealing with. It looks like so far the established zone is a little bit tighter than that, as that one, again, outside for ball 2.
Yeah, and that's game to game, crew to crew, umpire behind the plate. As long as the consistency's there, they'll figure it out.
2-0 count now as Atwell looks at one right at the knees for a call strike. That one caught more of the plate and right at the kneecaps.
And umpire with a little glance back towards the fans. Hopefully
that ball chopped to the left side. Third base up with it. The throw to second is in time. They'll hold the ball. Good play there by Brannon to flip it over to Cortland Holmes to erase White on the base pass. Atwell will be at first on the fielder's choice.
You ever do any umpiring, John?
I did when I was coming out of high school, but it was mostly rec league, and only had to throw one person out ever, as that throw over is going to pick off the runner. Caught him leaning just a little bit, and a second runner erased on the base pass for Owensboro Catholic. And the Mustangs will head back in to try to put something on the board in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, you were about to go into a tale of throwing somebody out, and Atwell's thrown out off the pickoff. Now that we got a little time, I'd love to hear that, your umpiring story.
Oh, well, it's not much of anything. I did it because my dad made me. One of those where it was you find something to do during your time off during the summer, and that was something for me to do. And he was running the leagues then, and told me that was what I was going to do. And like I said, I only had to ever throw one person out. It was on a 4th of July tournament. He got to celebrate our nation's freedom from the parking lot that day. So,
well, the whole country's a free country, so parking lot, bleachers, it's all good. Speaking of good, how about great? The guy on the mound out there for Owensboro Catholic.
And that would be Luke Quinn, as we saw him throw an inning last night against Breckinridge County through the top of the 6th inning. A very quick inning. I want to say it was a 3-up, 3-down inning, as he induced 2 ground balls and a fly out in that inning pitched, and kept the game at a 4-2 tally, as Catholic then was able to go on and get 7 runs in that bottom half of the inning. I guess actually he would have been awarded the win in that case. Didn't really put that math together until right now, but he does have a win in this tournament so far. Comes in to the third region tournament with a 1.45 ERA, 48 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 32 hits, 14 runs, only 10 of which are earned, 27 strikeouts to 8 walks. And Quinn, probably the ace of the Aces staff, as we've seen throughout this tournament. Owensboro Catholic has not been shy to go to a different pitcher. Got to think things will be a little bit different here in the championship game, as they would give Evans a chance to go a little bit deeper if he's pitching well, as that first pitch is hit high and deep into right center field. And Mitchell Sims had that one the whole way. It kept traveling and traveling, and it didn't look like he ever broke into a full sprint there. He just kind of glided over and squeezed it for the first out.
Yeah, that was a very athletic tracking of that ball. It's always fun to watch a premier athlete do his thing.
And that was Eli DeBoer, who led yesterday's game off with a double, ended up coming around to score in that first inning that gave Muhlenberg the lead, and that was a lead that they never relinquished. That pitch catches the inside corner here to number 2, Sumner Shelton. Shelton up in the order a little bit higher than he has been the last couple of games, as he rips that one towards short. And a nice play there by Flynn to squeeze it. And good to see him back out there after the play at second base. He was shook up a little bit on the slide, but it looked good there.
I'm trying to see. My eyes may be bad, but that may be a different guy. It might be 14. That may have been Jake Murphy. Maybe. I don't know. But again, my vision is horrible.
Try to catch that if he turns around here. Ball hits sharply at second base. Up with it is Moser to Evans, and Thomas is retired on the 4-3 putout, and a quick first inning on both sides. We've got no score after 1 complete. I was trying to see if Neverwood turns back to us.
I want to say it was, but if I've been wrong before, it's been millions of times. So don't take my word just yet. But now let's think about it. If it was a substitution, can Flynn come back into the game if he's okay?
Yes.
And
Flynn,
would that count against him?
Flynn would be able to re-enter, and of course he led that first inning off, so he's 7 batters away. So maybe it's a situation, if they did make a substitution, that they're giving him a couple of minutes to, get loose again, to maybe shake off the cobwebs. I'm not exactly sure if it was a shoulder, if it was a hand, maybe a head. Just complete speculation on that. But if there was a substitution, that would probably be a good chance for them to give him a couple of innings where he can regroup, and then he would be able to re-enter really at any point during the game. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the next at-bat.
Okay. Well, I took a peek over my left shoulder back towards the trainer's table. Nobody's there. So no staff nor player, which may mean they're in the dugout or over in the vicinity.
Now we'll keep an eye out for that, as Mitchell Deuce Sims is at the plate. Left-handed hitter. Takes a first pitch for a called ball. Sims with 3 hits last night against Breckinridge County, as the 1-0 pitch, that one called a strike. 3 hits against Breckinridge County and only 1 hit against Edmonson County, but it was one that left the yard.
If you're going to just get one, go big.
And that ball lifted high in the air to left field. It's going to be caught. And that's the first out of the inning, as Maddox Jernigan puts that one away.
Now batting the DH, number 22, Christopher Burns.
And Burns stepping up. He patrolled first base last night, but here in the designated hitter role. Going to see what he can do.
First pitch comes in high. 1-0 count now as that one's right down the middle for a call strike to even things up at 1-1. One ball, one strike. And a breaking ball swoops in there for a call strike.
A fastball, a great fastball is great, but a good breaking ball is just beautiful to watch.
And another one thrown there, hung up just a little bit, and it's going to be deposited into center field just in front of DeBoer, and a one-out single. That one caught a little bit too much of the plate, and Burns was able to keep his hands back and drive it right back up the middle, and they'll have a one-out runner here as Barrett Evans, who's playing first base this evening, will step to the plate.
Yeah, Burns said that hanging curve looks beautiful. I'll swing on that.
Evans looks at a first pitch breaking ball for a call strike. Throw over, as I would assume the Catholic runners are going to be a little bit more on guard after getting two of them thrown out on the base paths in the first inning. Fastball is taken for ball one.
And on that pickoff, Burns was still sort of walking out. Maybe Cartwright waits half a second, he might have something.
Hadn't got the full extension there of a lead, as that one is a little bit closer, but still Burns back safely.
Is there a limit to the number of times he's going to throw over?
In high school, you can throw over as many times as you like. They put limitations in other levels, as that's a breaking ball for a call strike. They've put limitations in in college and in professional ball, but still here in high school, you can throw over just as many times as you please. 1-2 pitch is high. The throw is going to be just wide, but a nice play there by Thomas. That's going to be a play that doesn't show up on the highlight reel, but it is one that keeps Burns at first base. If he doesn't catch that ball, it goes into right field. Burns is going to be able to advance. 2-2 pitch here. Breaking ball comes in a little bit high, and it's called a ball. 3-2.
You know, the Muhlenberg County fans trying to will that one into a called strike.
This strike zone is very, very similar to the one that we saw last night in the Owensboro Catholic Breckinridge County game, as a quick toss over, and that one a little bit closer.
That was a close call.
Cartwright with a nice move there. That probably was his A-plus move. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Evans is retired.
It's got to feel good for a pitcher when you don't get a called strike to throw it up there again and have somebody swing and miss.
In some cases, you want to go and challenge, especially if it's Evans has hit the ball well here this tournament, but if it's not Atwell, if it's not Sims, you feel like you should at least try to go after him early in the count, as he does with the fastball there to Parker Highstand. Throw over. A good throw, a nice low throw over, but Burns is safely back. And that's another strike called. Not sure if the batter is looking for something different after breaking balls. He's been over on deck seeing breaking ball after breaking ball, and he gets two straight fastballs and another fastball that is hit into the Owensboro Catholic dugout there on the first base side.
Yeah, these dugouts are open as well. There is no fence, so you have to be alert.
One way to keep you awake. Of course, if you're not awake at this point in this type of game, then something's wrong with you, as that breaking ball ducks out of the zone and swung through and missed for strikeout number 2 of the inning, and that caps things off as Owensboro Catholic will strand a runner after a hit. We've got no score heading to the bottom of the second.
Right, it's not really time to panic for either ball club, and I'm kind of in a position here, John, where I'm really excited for the later innings, like because both teams with their capability of putting up big numbers, but I don't want to kind of wish the game away because the early ones, with this great pitching we're seeing, the solid defensive play, Thomas saving the ball from going into right field, it's all good. I need to just calm down and just watch.
And we do have confirmation from up above us as Flynn has been replaced by, I think you said number 14, Jake Murphy. So Murphy is at shortstop for the Aces, and we'll keep our eye out for what's happening with Grayson Flynn after that leadoff walk. He tried sliding into second base on a stolen base and came up a little shaken up there. So we'll see how things progress, but as of right now, at shortstop, Flynn has been replaced by Jake Murphy.
And that's even more credit to him for making that dive and grab, because if you're on the bench, you're not expecting Flynn to come out at all. So Murphy probably thought he's not playing shortstop tonight. No way.
Leading off, first pitch swung on there by Deacon Addis. Addis with a hard line drive to lead the last game off his first at bat. Ended up driving in a run on a defensive error by Apollo, and that one run staked the Mustangs to a lead that they would never relinquish. Addis takes that one low, and now the count 2-1. Quinn was able to get through that first inning with minimal pitches, and Addis chops that one to third. High stand with it. The throw is a little bit high over there to Evans, but he's going to bring it down for the first out.
Yeah, I got a little worried when it left his hand for Owensboro Catholic that might sail, but he did field it pretty deep over there down the third base line.
Well, we've seen some darts thrown in the infield there, some just lasers straight across. That one, a good throw nonetheless, but had a little bit of arc to it as that first pitch is hit into the left field corner, and it's going to get down. Cartwright rounds first, and he's going to head into second base with a one-out double. And Talon Cartwright trying to help his own cause as he's in scoring position now with one out for the Mustangs. Jumps all over the very first pitch he sees.
Yeah.
They will bring down Cartwright. They have a runner going out there for him. Easton Mefford, the courtesy runner. Number 10, Easton Mefford.
And here's Brandon. I still remember his hit against Meade County that really turned that tide and won that game.
No pun intended there.
Oh.
First pitch swinging there, popped over to the right side. Evans is going to coast over and catch that one. A difficult play there by first base to make that. Usually you'll see the second baseman try to call him off, but Evans got in a good position there and was able to field it himself as Brandon is retired on one pitch there.
In Muhlenberg County, a lot of first pitch swings. It worked out for Cartwright, but we're seeing a lot of outs recorded too. That's just going to enable Quinn to go deeper into this game.
Dalton Brigus, the right fielder, takes that first pitch out of the zone for ball one. Brigus 0 for 4 yesterday. And a chopper to second base, Moser to Evans. And Muhlenberg County gets the double, but they are unable to do anything with it. We're identical up on the board right now. The Aces with no runs, one hit. The Mustangs with no runs and one hit.
And Quinn, with his season, he's thrown the most innings. Coming into yesterday's game, had thrown 48 and a third. And by now he's going to be over 50. In these over 50 innings of work, he's allowed 32 hits. But this is what's impressive to me. He's only struck out 27 batters. And so in that many innings and not allowing a whole lot of hits, he's able to get outs, able to get the batters to maybe swing at some pitches, and his defense is really backing him up. And I'm not disrespecting his strikeout total, because any pitcher that can command like that is going to be have a great career.
Well, just as a staff, Owensboro Catholic, they throw a lot of different arms out there, and as far as strikeouts are concerned, as a team, they're striking out about 5 batters a game as a team. So through a 7-inning game, you expect 5 strikeouts. Muhlenberg County, on the other hand, striking out about 9. Now that is skewed a little bit because Peyton Carey, coming into last night's game, he had struck out 128 just by himself. So yeah, there's some skewness to that data right there. But Talon Cartwright, tonight's starter, he's thrown 32 in a third coming into tonight. He had 42 strikeouts. So Muhlenberg may be a little more reliant as a staff in general on the strikeout. But as we've seen with Owensboro Catholic, typically outside of a 5-minute span last night in the second inning against Breckinridge County, they've been extremely solid defensively. So you can pitch to contact if you know that the people behind you are going to field it. First pitch to the lefty Mason Moser is up high for ball 1. Moser with 2 hits last night as he takes that one for a strike. Scored one of those 7 runs in that 6th inning that moved the Aces into this championship game. Another call strike.
We've seen a lot of good performances from left-handed batters in this tournament. Owensboro Catholic's got several good ones. He's one of them.
Cartwright with the 1-2 pitch. Looked like a fastball that came out of the hand a little wonky, and it evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, that had some sort of inside. I made a motion with my hand for everybody watching at home. You can see that. It moved.
It looked like it might have been a 2-seam fastball or something that just didn't have a good grip on, but he comes back on the outside corner and gets Moser to swing through that one. That's the 3rd strikeout in a row for Owensboro Catholic hitters. And Elijah Blair, the 9-hitter in the Catholic order, comes to the plate.
We've covered this in previous games. Probably one of the most capable 9-hitters you'll see.
Ground ball to short, up with it and across as Shelton goes to Thomas, and 1 pitch, 2nd out of the inning.
I was trying to give him a compliment. And as things go sometimes, I wasn't able to finish my sentence before Now, I don't know. I don't believe in that. Although you, however, are sometimes spot on with your predictions.
Every now and then, as we do see here, Jake Murphy, the left-handed batter, step in. This is his first at-bat of the regional tournament. Murphy comes in as a .417 hitter. See what... how many at-bats that constitutes here in just a moment here, but
on the paper, if that stat, that is very nice.
Hasn't seen a strike yet, but swings at that one that runs in on his hands, fouled off.
Trying to do some mental math to get a .417. It's got to be more than a few. That seems like a larger sample.
5 for 12 on the season.
Oh, I need to learn my fractions.
So thrust into the lineup here due to an injury, and now down, or actually even the count at 2-2. And that one out of the zone, and the count now runs full. Talon Cartwright with the 3-2 pitch. It's out of the zone, and Murphy able to work a walk with 2 outs.
It's not a bad at-bat for your first at-bat of the tournament. Obviously not expecting to come in. If he mostly does his work at the shortstop position, Flynn would have been the staple, but he got on.
That's the first walk that Murphy has collected this season, as that's a breaking ball over the back door for strike one. White walked his first time up. 0-1 pitch goes down and gets that one, lifts it into center field, but a good job by DeBoer to come in on it and squeeze it for the third out of the inning. Off the bat, it looked like one that might sink in there to center field, but Eli DeBoer saw it real well, came in and squeezed it, and Owensboro Catholic unable to do anything with that 2-out walk.
Center field, one of those, I don't want to call them glamorous positions, but certainly a position with a lot of, really a lot of pressure. Have to be able to be alert and know what to do, and a lot of expectation too. And Sims had a nice track of a ball earlier, and DeBoer right there, I thought it was going to drop as well, but he sort of ate the ground up, and they're both playing that position very well. The preferred outfield spot, it has to be said. Although maybe somebody's like prefers the others, that's fine.
Well, if you have a really good center fielder, it makes your left and right fielders so much better, because if you can have a center fielder that covers as much ground, we've seen Sims cover left center and right center almost by himself. That means your left fielder and right fielder, they can cover those lines a little bit more. So the holes out in the outfield become much, much smaller. DeBoer with a good job coming in on that ball. So the balls that maybe your shortstop or second baseman, in other defensive alignments, you may depend on them to go out and get, hey, you don't have to worry about it. He's got it. So a good center fielder makes everybody else good around them, because it makes them have to either do less or they can focus on different things.
There's just so many nuances to baseball as a sport. We talk about this, you never know what you're going to see, in no small part because of the dynamic capability of different players. And so it's always almost like a new game every day.
It is, yep.
I guess that's literally what it is.
Carver, Jernigan, and DeBoer will be hitting here in the third inning, the scheduled hitters for Muhlenberg County. No score as we go into the bottom of the third. First pitch to Carver is out of the zone for ball one. Quinn with the 1-0 pitch. It's fouled over to the left side. Owensboro Catholic in the championship game here. They are looking for their third regional title in the last 4 years. They won it in 21 and in 22. Were not part of the regional tournament last year, as they were knocked off in their district tournament. And then they have run all the way to the championship game here. The last time they lost, as that breaking ball is just inside, the last time they lost a regional tournament game was actually in 2019 in the championship game, a game that started in Owensboro, ended in Bowling Green. It had different area codes, it had different zip codes. A game Breckinridge County ended up winning, but they are looking to cement themselves as a three-time champion in the last 4 years. Muhlenberg County looking for their first championship since 2018, and they went back-to-back in 17 and 18. So they're looking for their third region title since 2000.
Yeah, great pedigrees here for both of these schools in the baseball program.
A walk to Carver, and Jernigan squares around, pulls the bat back, and takes an outside corner call strike.
Yeah, with that base runner at first, and a game where it looks like there's not really going to be a lot of hits, moving him around is going to be crucial.
Third base drawn in quite a bit. Jernigan bunts it. It's going to be fielded by Quinn. He thinks for a second about going to second base with it, but thinks better of it as he flips over to Barrett Evans at first base for the out. One of those, if he had fielded it maybe a split second quicker, he would have set his feet and fired one to second base, but just enough time to advance the Mustang runner into the scoring position. And back to the top of the order is Eli DeBoer.
And DeBoer is not, he's not really shown much patience, and not to his discredit because he's been able to hit well. But he's going to come out. He's not going to wait here.
Doesn't see a good one there, so he takes it for ball 1.
I mean, I guess it depends on if the pitch is hittable.
Yeah,
He'll wait for the for a good pitch.
That one a little too far out of the zone to offer at. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball hit to the shortstop. Murphy up with it. He goes to third base, and they're going to apply the tag in time. And they erase the runner there. He was off on contact.
Yeah, I feel like, maybe as a courtesy runner, you're probably used to running bases. Like they're not going to bring somebody who's not capable, but certainly with nobody behind him on the base path, you want to hold a little bit at second base to where that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the rule typically is if you're at second base, a ball hit to third or shortstop, you hold. Anything hit to the right side of the infield, you can try to advance on it, but he was off on contact, and it did not work out for the Mustangs there as DeBoer now stands at first base with 2 outs. And the ball swung on and lifted to the right side by Sumner Shelton. And it's going to be foul out of play.
That might have been a play that was put on, but from the third base coach, he didn't look too happy.
Absolutely not. And a very heads-up play by Murphy. Again, we mentioned that ball is hit just out of the reach of a leaping Murphy. And a 2-out single that could have been a 2-out RBI, but they'll have to get another hit if they want to score here in the third inning. Murphy just about leaped up there and got it.
That would have been because you were singing his praise for that heads-up play to go to third coming into the game. And if he had gotten that one, because he really elevated, man, he went up there.
He's a tall kid there. Curious. See how.
I'm going to say about 6'3" from here.
They have him listed at 6'2", but he looks taller. That pitch hit into right field. Going back on is the right fielder, and it drops. 1 run will score. Rounding third and heading for home is Shelton. The play will not be in time, and the Mustangs with a 2-run lead. A fly ball hit out to right field, and again, some defensive issues with those fly balls into the outfield. Bites Catholic here early.
Wow. Last night it was the twilight sky right here, maybe just a setting sun, and it was drifting back, just kept backpedaling. Just unfortunate for Owensboro Catholic. Again, they find themselves in a hole down to some outfield balls dropping in.
And Thomas able to move up to second base on that, and Deacon Addis now at bat. As the sun is setting, that right field area is where the sun is most prominent at, but just kept drifting back, and I don't know if the ball just kept carrying on him, but nonetheless, it's a ball hit right back up the middle. It bounces off Quinn's glove, and Addis is going to be safe. The line drive right back at Quinn. He got a glove on it, but was unable to field it cleanly. Couldn't find it initially, and that's going to be an infield single and put runners on the corner with 2 out.
Now, Muhlenberg County here, there's you got this buzz in the crowd, got a little momentum. You've got to get as many runs as you can because Owensboro Catholic's season so far against Owensboro High School in the district, they came from, I think it was 5 runs down.
In the bottom of the 6th inning. So you're right. You want to stockpile these runs whenever possible, whichever side you're on. And Cartwright doubled his last time up on a very first pitch, and he's swinging first pitch again, lifted into the outfield. Sims moves over, and he makes the catch in the gap and prevents the Mustangs from scoring any more. But 2 runs score as Muhlenberg County will take a 2-0 lead into the 4th inning.
And it was enough for him yesterday, as that ended up being the final score. But, well, I mean, we saw yesterday, obviously, Carey's pitching, so that matters a lot. But You mentioned this on the air, I think it was yesterday. We've been here a couple days. To have success at the district tournament, you need one great pitcher. But at the regional tournament, you need more than one guy able to get it done. And so Muhlenberg County is not going to be in this game without, it's not just a one-man show with Carey.
And Cartwright, he's had some control issues, maybe a batter at a time, but it's been one of those where, especially with the first two batters, he walked the very first two batters of the game, but after that is kind of settled in. It's helped that his defense, specifically catcher, able to pick somebody off stealing a base. He was able himself to pick a runner off at first base. He's kind of settled in, and it's one of those where you want him to just get outs. Don't worry about if there's strikeouts. Don't worry about your pitch count at this point. Just get outs from batter to batter, and he'll face a good batter here as Brady Atwell will lead things off for Owensboro Catholic, followed by Mitchell Deuce Sims, and Christopher Burns, the three scheduled hitters for the Aces. Officially, they are going to call that fly ball into right field a single, as White never made contact with it, and a first pitch ripped right at third base, and Brandon was either going to catch it or get a hole in him, and he caught it for the first out.
Wow.
And that's not the first time we've seen Atwell hit a ball on a rope right at somebody, so just some tough luck there off the bat, and one away here in the top of the fourth as Sims had a couple of good defensive plays, plays that not every center fielder is going to make. And he went a long way to catch that ball that Cartwright hit in the last half inning to get Owensboro Catholic back into the dugout.
He's shown it both sides, right center and left center, the range. Helps to have long legs, because he's a tall guy himself.
1-1 taken well out of the zone.
And this would be the part of the order that Owensboro Catholic would want up there. But with Atwell, just a one pitch and he's out. Sims has worked it to a favorable count for him as a batter.
3-1 pitch, not even close, and he's going to walk down to first base. That's the fourth walk of the game issued by Cartwright. And Sims with good speed down at first base. We'll see if the Aces may put him in motion here. As we've seen throughout this tournament, Christopher Burns has been a batter that they trust to handle the bat. He's shown bunt, laid down some bunts, and somebody that they may trust to even with a hit and run. One out, and the very first pitch is a call strike on the inside corner. Cartwright back with the ball. Sims with a very short lead. And that ball slapped to second base. Up with it, the flip to short, and the throw to first pulls the first baseman off. Holmes to Shelton does get Sims out at second base on the 4-6 put out, but Burns is able to reach as that ball sails just a little bit, and Thomas is pulled off the bag.
And that would have ended the inning, or the half inning, for Muhlenberg County, but it's allowed to continue here.
It's one of those plays, it's not an error, but it's a play that if you're Muhlenberg County, you think, maybe we should have made that play. That's one that we would like to have back. But you refocus now with 2 outs. Another good hitter in the box with Barrett Evans. Throw over is not in time.
Burns is going to be fed up with the throws over to first. It was 4 times the last time he was on first base.
1-0 pitch. And Evans lifts that to the right side, and it's going to find its way out of play. Barrett Evans with an RBI double yesterday. And in the first game, ended up walking in his only at bat. 1-1 pitch here from Cartwright. A breaking ball that is lifted into right center field. Brigus going back, and it's off his glove, and it's going to roll to the fence. Rounding third and heading for home is Burns. He's going to score, and it's cuts the Muhlenberg lead in half. Now a 2-1 ball game.
Looks like the sun is an equal opportunity inhibitor, giving Brigham some trouble out there as well. But it's part of the conditions as well. It was a deep ball, too. He had to really go back for that one.
It almost looked like as he was tracking that ball, he may have overrun it even a little bit, because as he jumped to try to catch it, it looked like he was trying to jump and reach behind him on the play. But nonetheless, like you said, and a balk is called. A little bit of extra movement there by Cartwright as the home plate umpire came out and called that immediately. Looked like a little bobble of the ball, and that's not allowed when you're in contact with the rubber. And so now a runner in really good scoring position at third base. A lot more ways to score from third than there is from second, as that first pitch is swung on and hit to the right side. High stand, the third baseman, struck out in his first at bat. So Barrett Evans stands at third with 2 away.
A chance to even it back up here for the Aces.
That ball hit off the hands up the middle, and it's just enough to sneak through, and the Aces have tied things up.
Don't want to harp on it too much, but go back to that double play that could have ended the inning. And the throw was, I mean, it was in time. It was just a little high, and now it's looks a little more serious than it did maybe at the time.
It's, again, it's one of those plays. It's not an error, but if you ask the Mustangs, that's a play they have to make. It gives the Aces just another chance, and this is a ball club that you cannot give extra opportunities to, as the pitch is swung on by Moser, hit to second base. Holmes to Shelton, retires the side, but the Aces tie things up. They get 2 hits in the inning, they score 2 runs, and we've got a 2-2 ball game heading to the bottom of the 4th.
And if we look at it as a first half, second half, we are mathematically halfway through this one. The only difference is Muhlenberg County's got more opportunities at the plate, but I don't think we could have asked for a more engaging first half of this game. Both teams have shown they can score. Both teams have had to deal with some adversity with some fly balls to right field. And it's only going to set up a dramatic conclusion coming up within the next however long we're here. I kind of hope it goes for a little while because it's a lot of fun.
Both pitchers have come out and thrown pretty well. I think Quinn has found the strike zone a little bit more consistently than Cartwright has, but Cartwright has done just enough right to get through 4 innings. Quinn is finishing up his warm-up tosses here as he'll go into his 4th inning of work here. And it's all about jumping on those opportunities, and both teams have had opportunities. They've scored 2 runs, but now it's going to be who can generate another opportunity later in the game, because both of these teams have shown that they can allow things every now and then, but they only allow it maybe once in a game. So something's got to give here as we proceed into our later innings. First pitch there to Maddox. Brandon is out of the zone for ball 1. Tries to check his swing and is not successful, and the count evens at 1.
Brandon, if I'm in right field, I'm worried because he might go right back to you.
Ball hit to the right side, and Evans is going to bobble it, pick it up, and step on the bag, and 1 away. Tried to go to that right side, but not able to elevate it, and Evans didn't get it cleanly the first time, but it didn't panic, picked it up, stepped on the bag. Dalton Briggins, the right fielder, swinging on the first pitch, pops it up to the right side, and there's not enough real estate to keep that ball in play here.
Which is, that'll tell you it was really foul. There's a lot of space back here.
0 for 1 so far is Briggins as he grounded out to second base his first time up. Again swinging and fouls it back behind home plate. And the count now 0-2.
We've only had one foul ball test us here in the tent, and we passed.
Yeah, we did, so.
Or I should say the tent. The tent passed, and we were grateful.
Down and away there, count now 1-2.
Too many get fouled off. We're going to get the announcement over the PA to give the balls back.
That one slapped to the right side. We might hear it here in a second. Although it looks like a good contingent over there of. Nope, you're right. The Muhlenberg County supplying the balls over there out of the home dugout, but Owensboro Catholic's got a good contingent behind their dugout, getting the foul balls back to their dugout.
I'm giving you a good run for your money with my call-outs.
Yeah.
But you can't force it. It's got to be organic.
Exactly.
It's not like you say, like, Muhlenberg County's going to hit this one into the right center gap.
Nope. It's going to be popped up to the right side, however. Moser's got this one in his sights. Maybe got a little bit too far under it, but he's able to squeeze it for the second out of the inning. You're right about the direction. Just
Well, I tried too hard. That's what you get when you try to show it.
Colton Carver, the catcher, walked his first time up. And his courtesy runner was thrown out at third on a 6-5 put out as that first pitch is called, strike back door.
Yeah, and that took some of the wind out of the sails in that Muhlenberg County half.
Well, that was an out that it was the second out of the inning. It looked like the Aces were going to get out of things, but then, and that's a hit into left field as it's going to sink in front of Blair out there. And Carver reaches for the second time.
Now batting the left fielder, number 43, Maddox Jernigan.
And they will bring in the courtesy runner one more time.
Courtesy running
It'll be number 10.
Easton Mefford.
Easton Mefford. Although I thought I had Easton Mefford as the courtesy runner for Talon Cartwright.
Are they allowed to do it for more than one if it's a?
No.
Oh. That's who it was. That's who was thrown out at third base.
I may have written the wrong one down earlier. So
I think you're right. I saw 10 run out.
That ball swung on and lifted into left field. Blair with an opportunity and is going to squeeze this one for the third out of the inning as Jernigan swinging on the first pitch is the third out. We've finished 4 innings of play and we're all even at 2.
Yeah, we've got Atwell's having a conversation with the umpire about something.
And now, yeah, just a little bit of a trying to see what's going on there.
What would happen if they had made that substitution mistake?
I would have to go back to the rule book. Actually, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it would be an automatic out.
Okay.
But
would that like roll over into the next inning? Because we're out of that inning now.
Well, it's one of those things. If you don't catch it at the time, then it's too late. I think it's kind of like it doesn't happen as often at this age, but sometimes you have people that bat out of order, which you would think that how can that happen? But it can happen. That's one of those things where if you bat out of order, the only way that it affects you is if the other team notices. So it's kind of like the other team has to point it out, and then the umpires will check. Oh, okay, well, yeah, you're right, and then they'll make a correction or they'll call an out or something like that. So, like I said, well, we'll have to check the next time Talon Cartwright gets on who's running for him, but for right now, it doesn't seem to be much of a point as a first pitch call strike to Elijah Blair, the left fielder.
That would be a dastardly move to intentionally bat out of order.
That would be an individual that would probably end up walking a good distance home if I'm the coach. That ball chopped to third, up with it, and the throw across is in time as Brandon throws it to Thomas to retire Blair.
And we were talking about center field being a fun position to watch. I like a good third base throw because it's a long way to make the throw, and just Brandon just in total control right there. Took his time, got set, and delivered a strike.
You have a ball hit at you as that ball is swung on and missed high in the zone by Jake Murphy. You have a ball hit at you as fast as what Atwell did earlier, probably coming off 100+ towards you. As that ball's popped up, Carver going and going to squeeze it. We've seen a lot of catchers have issues with that this tournament, being able to kind of control their body and contort themselves to make that play, and a good play there by Carver to stay under control, and Murphy is retired on the pop out.
And it's almost like you expect the catcher to run too far and then have to lean back and jump. He did a little lean, but he got it. And that's 2 outs quickly.
Jackson White, first pitch swinging,
Oh,
and it's
no.
dribbled towards first. And they're going to say that it hit him while it was in the box.
Oh, my.
It was not immediately called by the home plate umpire, and again, that's one of those that if you're in that home plate umpire position, you may not see initially, but the first base umpire did end up making that call, and it is just a foul ball.
Yeah, it was looked to be a very weakly hit ball. And we remember yesterday in the Muhlenberg County Apollo game, there was some, was it foul, was it not, off of Apollo Smith?
Yes.
That they had 2 on at the time and were kind of rallying. So foul ball drama, foul ball gate 2.0. This time going against the Mustangs. I guess that's just evening out. That's the universe.
0-2 pitch as White swings on it, hit to second base, up with it, the throw is in time, and Holmes to Thomas is the third out of the inning.
No, it doesn't matter if it was a foul ball or not.
Yeah, they end up getting the out. Sometimes you hear the ball don't lie a lot in basketball.
Oh,
that's a situation where it happens here, maybe in the baseball realm.
Ball don't lie. It makes me think of Rasheed Wallace.
Whew.
Great player.
Yeah. That's dating back a few years.
Yeah, sorry. For all the viewers under 20, or however, I don't know, for all the children listening, Rasheed Wallace was a former professional basketball player who attended the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Sound like Wikipedia.
Yeah. Not reading it off, yeah. You won some NBA titles with the Pistons.
Yes, they won in 2004. The Detroit Pistons, knocking off the sort of super team Los Angeles Lakers. Had Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, but then brought in some veteran Karl Malone and
Gary Payton. The glove.
Yeah, and then they lost. The Pistons were just a better team. Tayshaun Prince on that team, Richard Hamilton, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups.
My favorite Wallace, though, was
Ben Wallace. Yeah.
I liked his hair.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And he was an undersized center, only around 6'9", but
very physical.
Yeah. Well, enough NBA for today. Let's come back to high school baseball. Good memories, though.
Muhlenberg is back to the top of their order here as DeBoer, Shelton, and Thomas will lead things off here in the 5th. Tie ball game, 2-2 here in the championship game of the 3rd region tournament. The winner of this game will move on to the state tournament. That slated to start for the 3rd region champion on June the 7th as that ball is hit into right field. White with another chance over there, and this time he sees it and squeezes it for out number 1.
Love to see some redemption.
A little bit of, you could tell that the fans to our right in the Owensboro Catholic section, you could hear their collective breaths kind of hold as that ball went out there. But much smoother path to that one as that ball is hit into right field, and it's going to be caught. Diving catch there by White. Looked like a sinking line drive that Shelton was going to reach on. And a nice play to keep the Mustangs off the base paths and a second out in the 5th inning.
Well, if that last fly ball didn't restore his confidence, that'll certainly have him feeling 3 miles high.
Now 2 away, and Thomas takes a first pitch out of the zone, 1-0 from Luke Quinn. That one inside, now 2-0.
And when White did make that dive, Sims was his biggest cheerleader out there. I'd feel pretty good if my center fielder was hyping me up in right field.
2-0 slap to the right side. You know, we've seen a lot of emotion when these big plays happen. Of all the big plays and nice defensive plays, I think White was very composed. Everybody around him was celebrating it way more than he was. It was like, well, thank goodness I got that one.
Yeah, and I kind of like that, the more subdued, personal celebration. Let everybody else do it for you.
Now we're getting into the twilight of this game, or at least the regulation part of it. We're in the 5th inning, so it's one of those where you don't want to celebrate just yet as that ball is hit over to second base. Moser with it, throws over to Evans, and the side is retired. So 2 nice plays out in right field by White. A routine play at second base from Moser to Evans. And we're going to the 6th with a tie ball game. And this is that inning that we've kind of talked about at the beginning. We talked about how Muhlenberg made their comeback in the 6th inning against Meade County. And as you mentioned, Owensboro Catholic wouldn't have made it to the 3rd region tournament without a comeback in their district tournament in the 6th inning against Owensboro. And they wouldn't be in this game if they didn't make a comeback last night against Breckinridge County in the 6th inning. So we'll see if the 6th inning maintains its magic moments for one of these teams.
Ooh, nice alliteration there.
Yeah, I didn't
Very
plan it.
nice.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that if you try to script something like that, it would come across as very, just hackish. But that was very good. I love that. And you set the inning up well. And here's a stat for you. We have just now crossed 1 hour in this game, and we are moving through this game.
Absolutely. Just to point out, I think in between innings, Muhlenberg did have a man up in their bullpen getting loose. I'm just speculating because I'm just basing this off of who has and who hasn't pitched for them as far as innings are concerned. My assumption would be that it's probably Dalton Brigus is the one that was out there getting loose in between innings. He's still out in right field. They still have Cartwright on the mound, but you want to make sure you're ready just in case. And the heart of the Aces order is coming to bat here as Atwell, first pitch swinging, offers at that changeup or breaking ball out of the zone and fouls it straight back.
And he has just torched every ball he's put the bat on tonight, but to no avail yet.
That one popped straight back. And quickly behind 0-2, and an 0-2 count, nobody on. I would assume that he's probably not going to see anything in the zone the next couple of pitches. And he doesn't. That's a breaking ball out of the zone that Atwell cannot make contact with. And a big strikeout to begin the 6th inning for Cartwright.
Yeah, just maybe expecting something a little faster. It's off balance with the swing. Great pitch in that moment, but it doesn't get any easier.
No, Mitchell Sims walked his last time up. 0 for 1 officially in this game, but again, another batter that can change the score with one swing, as that one's just out of the zone for ball 1. It was Sims that kicked off the 7-run inning for Catholic last night with a double down the right field line. And that pitch catches the zone.
I remember that. It was just a hard hit ball. Brett Hinton, no chance to make the play, not out of his inability, just to
hit too hard. And that one hit to the right side, and it finds its way into the outfield. And I was just about to point out that Thomas was playing right on the line. You can tell that they had that play scouted. If he's in his regular position, he fields that, steps on the bag, and that's the second out. He was right on that first base line, and Sims finds the hole for a one-out single.
You think that's a little overthinking?
It's one of those that we've seen him do it, so maybe we try to adjust. You make the adjustment, and they make an adjustment as well. So,
oh, no.
Throw down to second. It wasn't initially covered, and Sims is going to steal second base.
Wow.
It was almost a little it was a delay type steal. He wasn't really off and running fast with the pitch. But when he decided to take off, he took off. He saw that nobody was covering. The throw from Carver was right on the bag. But Shelton, after he fielded it, applied the tag a little too late, and Sims finds himself in scoring position with one out and a strike against Burns, and he hits that one right at second. The flip to second is in time, and a double play off the line drive will send us to the bottom of the inning.
Wow, unbelievable. You would not expect Sims to be caught out like that with the baseball mind he's got, and he had just lucked out that nobody was covering that bag, because he would have been out by 4 feet. And then just that line drive, I don't know if he was thinking maybe he got lucky, so he's not super locked in on that, but we saw a similar thing happen last night in the Breckinridge County game. But it just goes to show you, even somebody of Sims' great ability, just unfortunate there, being doubled off.
And alert defense there by the Mustangs as Holmes caught it and immediately looked to second base, and Shelton, as soon as he saw the ball hit, Shelton went to the bag. Sims didn't, and that was the difference in that inning ending on that double play.
Yeah, wow. I would not have had that on my championship game bingo card.
Absolutely not, but the Aces come up empty in their 6th inning.
I know.
Mustangs with their chance here as we finish up our warm-up tosses. Quinn back out there for the 6th inning, as we've had a different type of pitcher's duel than we had yesterday in the Apollo Muhlenberg game, but still a really good effort by Cartwright and Quinn in this one, and we're deadlocked heading into the bottom of the 6th. First pitch catches the arm of Addis. And a leadoff hit by a pitch.
Yeah, and Quinn's, he's deep into this game now in the 6th inning. We know Owensboro Catholic has the battery to just go to another arm if they need it.
And nobody up and throwing. They are going to bring in this will be a pinch runner, as it's number 15. They'll bring Cortland Holmes, who is being DH'd for. They'll bring him in to run here. So Holmes enters the lineup as the not as necessarily as a pinch runner, but they bring the DH down and put Holmes in. Now with Cartwright at the plate, he's first pitch swinging, lifts it into left field. Going after it is Blair, but he's going to watch that one fall foul. Everybody to the left of us in that powder blue Mustang garb was expecting that ball to foul just in fair territory, but he hooked it just too much.
Yeah, a lot of leaning forward in the bleachers, trying to just push it, like stay fair.
One strike against Talon Cartwright. He takes that one in the turf. Atwell blocks it up, and Holmes thinks better. Haven't seen Atwell have to make a throw down to second base, but I think his reputation precedes himself. Being a quarterback and seeing his throw in between innings, haven't seen anybody test him yet. 1-1 pitch again in the dirt, blocked up nicely by Atwell. And a 2-1 count now to the opposing pitcher, Talon Cartwright.
It would be a brave call to try to steal a bag. And you don't want to give that runner away, not in this moment of the game.
Tie ball game. Mustangs trying to scratch one across.
Saw Holmes doing some kind of, maybe that's just a hype move. We're kind of rolling his hands. Maybe it's a signal.
Maybe looking for a different signal there. 2-1 pitch swung on and lifted into left field. Going back on it is Blair. He's going back, and it's off the wall. Going into third base will be Holmes and Muhlenberg County with runners at second and third with nobody out as Cartwright rips his second double of the game.
Cartwright's had the bat going tonight, and that's going to give him a premier position here to take control of this game. It's the 6th inning.
It is the 6th inning. And this is number 10.
Courtesy running for the Mustangs, number 10, Easton Mefford.
Easton Mefford. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can use a courtesy runner however you please, but I was always under the impression that whoever you were courtesy running for, pitcher or catcher, you were that courtesy runner for the whole game. But I've been wrong before. Maybe I'm wrong here. But runners at second and third, nobody out. Infield drawn in now, and a first pitch swung on there by Brannon comes up empty.
Brannon finds himself in a similar position from the quarterfinal against Meade County with a chance, runners in scoring position to do the job.
Mustangs were down in that at bat, and his swing put them ahead. This time a breaking ball out of the zone offered at and quickly behind 0-2. And Quinn is throwing pitches that he wants Brannon to swing at there. They are not strikes, but Brannon a little bit over anxious on those first two. The 0-2 pitch from Quinn, well out of the zone, and a good job again by Atwell to move his feet over and backhand that ball.
I think he ended up about 8 feet outside of where he starts, just that athletic play.
A lot of room behind the catcher here, so a wild pitch could possibly score a run. 1-2 pitch again goes out, and Brannon keeps the bat on his shoulder. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No one out here in the 6th inning as the Mustangs are threatening for the first time since the 3rd. Mefford at second, Holmes at third. Pitch swung on and missed. It bounces. Atwell gets up and applies the tag since first base was open and completes the strikeout on the tag. Now 1 away. The infield will stay in here.
I know Atwell is a quarterback by football trade, but that was almost a tackle there, applying that tag.
Yeah, Brandon's feet were starting, and the top half of his body wasn't, and kind of fell down, and Atwell applied the tag, and Dalton Brigus now with his chance. Another breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back. Same recipe that he had for the last at bat with those breaking balls away, breaking ball low. Those are the kind of pitches you can throw when you trust your catcher to block up anything that you may spike a little bit before it gets to him. 0-1 pitch. A half swing there that Brigus goes too far on, and it's now an 0-2 count.
Did you feel how quiet it got before that pitch?
All the air collectively from everyone here at the field just kind of stopped there.
I looked to my left, saw a young boy on the Muhlenberg County side chewing his fingernails. Can't be more than 4 years old. It gets us early, doesn't it?
It
this
is
sports thing.
High tension right now. Atwell had a little bit of a conference there with his pitcher Quinn. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and bounced towards short. Murphy fields it, throws across. They get the out. They hold the runner at third. And now 2 away.
Murphy, how about it? Coming in for Flynn in the first inning. Hasn't put a foot wrong defensively. Everything he's done has been good. If he goes immediately with that throw, that runner may come across the plate, but good looking out for him.
So now 2 away, and Carver, the hitter, he is 1 for 1 this evening. Hit a sinking line drive into left field his last time, and a first pitch swung on and fouled off.
See, that's how I would expect a foul ball to look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I mean, we saw that. Yeah, that's foul ball. Not to go back to those earlier foul ball incidents. Those are well in the past. Sorry.
So Luke Quinn now with an 0-1 count against Carver. The pitch sails high and away for ball 1, evens the count.
And Atwell looked like he may have wanted to throw to third, but I don't know. That'd be risky. If it doesn't quite work out, you're giving away the game almost.
Quinn looks in, gets his sign. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, it hit into center field. Sims is over and squeezes it, and Quinn is able to pitch out of a major jam in the 6th inning. And the inning that was magical for both the Aces and Mustangs previous to this comes up zeros on both ends.
Oh, that just gives us a tasty 7th with a tie game.
We head to the last scheduled inning of regulation, knotted up at 2. And, Rob, this one feels like it's got extra innings written all over it.
I would be surprised if it does end in regular scheduled time. If for no other reason than we'd be clocking in about an hour and 20-minute game. But if it's going to be broken, if the deadlock's going to be broken, it's going to have to be somebody, maybe, I don't want to say home run, my goodness, but that would be a dramatic finish. But we've seen several balls hit deep, and they've carried. As the temperature is dropping here in the night air, I mean, the game's just heating up, and I don't know. I think the pitching's been solid for both. Like, how about you just mentioned getting out of that jam? The Aces, 2nd and 3rd, no outs, and then they managed to get out of it.
Well, if you're Owensboro Catholic, that's exactly why you have a pitcher like Luke Quinn available for a situation like this. He had thrown 6+ innings or 5+ innings going into that. Is in a situation where, statistically speaking, 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out, a run usually scores in that situation, whether it be on just a freak ground ball to the right side, something not hit very well. You know, something usually comes across in a situation like that. He kept his composure. He made extremely good pitches that Muhlenberg County was not able to lay off of, and that's why we're still sitting with a 2-2 ball game.
And headed towards the bottom of the order here for the Aces as Sims just picked off a second, ended the last inning. So we won't see them in, well, maybe, well, you never know. If we see them this inning, Owensboro Catholic's going to be raising the roof.
Yes.
If Atwell and Sims get up there in the 7th.
So a first pitch strike to the first baseman, Barrett Evans. Evans doubled his last time up, and he hits it to the right side this time. Going after it is Brigas. He's not going to get it, and that's going to be another double off the bat of Evans. He's going to get in there standing. And Barrett Evans leads things off with a double.
I apologize if you've been watching thinking, what? The score, our scoreboard software just glitched, but we promise it is 2-2, and now it should accurately reflect that on your screen. So sorry, you've been sitting there thinking, what are they talking about?
So a runner now standing at second base, nobody out. High stand shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball outside. 1 for 2 on the game. He singled his last time up. His single ended up scoring Evans from third. Evans actually advanced on a balk his last time he got to second base. Cartwright to the plate, bunted at, right back at Cartwright. He picks it up. The throw to third is in time.
Whoa.
And Evans is erased on the 1-5 put out.
That is a bold call there from the pitcher to make that throw, because if he gets that wrong, it's a lot of trouble. First and third, no outs. The sure play would be to take that out at first, but wow, I love that. I love that bravado.
In a situation where you cannot afford to give up a run, Cartwright had decided before he even picked the ball up, maybe even before he threw the pitch, that if that ball was bunted anywhere near him hard enough, he was going to third base. You could tell that he had that in his mind when he picked the ball up, fired a strike over there, and Brandon applied the tag. First pitch strike to Mason Moser, 0 for 2. Throw over to check on the runner, high stand, and he gets back in safely.
I mean, it's like a seesaw with momentum. One team gets feeling good, and then the other team takes it back. It makes for entertaining spectacle.
Pitch swung on and fouled off, and now 0-2. (0-2) count, one away here in the top of the 7th inning. We are tied. Another throw over, a quick tag applied, but not quick enough. Another throw over. I'm not even sure if Cartwright is even engaged on the rubber whenever he's throwing over there, but Catholic's getting a big lead over there. High stand is. The 0-2 pitch hit back up the middle, and it's going to find its way into center field. And first and second with one out now. Too good of a pitch to throw there on an 0-2 count, and Moser just laces it right back up the middle for a single.
Looks like Owensboro's coach is going to come out and say something.
Looks like maybe a pinch runner here, number 15 for the Aces. Tucker Evans goes out to second base.
I think that you can see, well, there's no I think, this is a definite truth. That play to get the runner at third, that kept Owensboro Catholic off the board. But still, this is dangerous.
So one out. The 9-hitter Elijah Blair, 0 for 2 so far, and a first pitch swinging on that breaking ball, lift to the left side. Brandon backpedals, juggles, and eventually grabs it with the bare hand to get the second out of the inning. And we'll see Houston Flynn come back to the plate here. Flynn, who was taken out of the game in the first inning, approaches home plate with his bat.
What a moment.
Now batting number 11.
And Muhlenberg County is going to have a little bit of a conference before this happens. Houston Flynn started the game with a walk and then was caught stealing. Came up, not sure exactly what the injury was, but he was replaced in the bottom half of the inning by Jake Murphy. Murphy played a really good defensive shortstop throughout this game, but he'll be pulled down here.
I think he walked, didn't he, in his only at bat?
He walked and he popped out to the catcher, so he actually had two at bats there.
Yes.
But with 2 outs, Flynn is who they're going to go to here, or go back to.
And what a moment for Flynn. I mean, out of the game, a mainstay of this lineup. I mean, the leadoff guy. And now he's back. It's like, you talk about a script.
It'll give the senior a chance to give Owensboro Catholic the lead as Cartwright comes set and their time is called. 2 out, 2 on as Tucker Evans stands at second base, Mason Moser at first, and Cartwright delivers. Breaking ball called, strike on the outer half of the plate.
Muhlenberg County staying with Cartwright.
Looks in for his sign, gets it from Carver. And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hit to right side. It's going to get over the second baseman's head. They're sending Evans, and he is going to score. And Owensboro Catholic now has a 3-2 lead. Flynn hits it just over the outstretched glove of the second baseman, Cortland Holmes, into right field. And Owensboro Catholic has untied the ball game. Wow. And still with a chance to add more on, as they have 2 on with 2 out, and Jackson White coming to the plate.
Wow. Flynn out for the whole game, coming in, making that play, getting that big hit, go-ahead run. And, I mean, for Muhlenberg County, you got to get out of the inning here because Atwell's on deck, followed by Sims.
0-1 pitch is high and away. Now 2 straight out of the zone. And Colton Carver is going to go have a talk with his right-hander, trying to calm him down just a little bit. A pitch that he just left up in the zone a little bit on the outer half, and Houston Flynn, in his first at bat since the very first inning, was able to deliver a RBI single and has given Owensboro Catholic a 3-2 lead. The 2-0 pitch swung on and lifted to the right side. Center fielder DeBoer drifts back on it and comes in on it and squeezes it. And we have the 3rd out in the top of the inning. The Aces take a 1-run lead. The Mustangs now have to answer, as they will send the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. And if a script was written for Owensboro Catholic, they may think, okay, that's great, but now the Mustangs, they got to write their own script here.
Yes. There's been so many just movie treatments shredded today. Just when you think the game is going to go one way, it turns on the other. We've got surprise re-entry with Flynn. We've got just a game that's been so fast in time. And now we could be down to the last moments. But I wouldn't bet against DeBoer, who's got that confidence at the plate. He's not going to back down from any moment. And if he imagine best case scenario here, a realistic best case scenario here for Muhlenberg County is maybe get a walk, somehow get on base to put a runner on for somebody like DeBoer who can really move that ball, really mash it. I bet you a runner gets on here in the first batter, there would be, you couldn't cut the tension with a knife, or maybe you could. No, it's so thick you can't. Even so, I'm just rambling like a madman.
It is a situation here where the Mustangs sending the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. All 3 are, at this point, they are all seniors that are being headed to the plate here in a first pitch by Quinn. Breaking ball on the outside corner, call strike.
How's that for a storyline? 3 seniors coming up with a chance to save the season.
The senior with a big swing in the top half of the inning, and a senior with a big swing to get things started for the Mustangs. As Jernigan lifts one into left center field, and it drops for a leadoff single.
And I was saying realistic best case was take a walk, but Jernigan with the little bloop into left center, and now DeBoer's got the runner on.
He goes down to talk to his third base coach. This is one of those situations where you have to get 1 run. You would, obviously, if you're Muhlenberg, you want to get 2, but that 1 run, the tying run that's now standing at first base, has to cross if you're the Mustangs. So you do not want any miscommunication. You want to make sure that if there is some kind of play on, that everybody understands what the play is. And DeBoer now steps in and waits for the offering from Quinn. The first pitch, swing and a miss. as there was no indication that they were going to try to just move the runner along there on the first ball.
You know, I've never seen a walk-off home run.
0-1 pitch. That one is taken in the dirt. Jernigan stands at first base. And Eli DeBoer 0 for 3 on the evening. Awaits the 1-1 pitch, hit sharply at short. Flynn flips it to Moser. Moser to first to Evans, and that is a double play. 6-4 to 3 as DeBoer hustling down the line, unable to prevent the double play. And now Owensboro Catholic 1 out away from getting back to the state tournament for the third time in the last 4 seasons.
Wow, just like that, the momentum seesaw shifts. And now it's the powder blue folks with the hands folded, leaning forward in the chairs.
Not over yet as Shelton swings at that first pitch, fouls it off. He has a single on the evening.
And he probably wasn't expecting to be in this situation.
0-1 pitch, breaking ball, he takes low, and it evens the count at 1-1.
You know, he sees Jernigan get on with the hit. He's thinking, all right. And then now he could be the last out.
1-1. Lets that one go outside as well, 2-1. And again, this is a situation, it doesn't matter how you get on, you got to get on to keep the train rolling here. If you're Quinn, you'd like to end it here. A chopper back to Quinn. Quinn fields it, looks at his catcher, and flips over to Evans. And Owensboro Catholic, for the third time in 4 years, will represent the third region in the state tournament as they knock off the Mustangs by a final score of 3-2. A great ball game that we had here at Breckinridge County High School. And the Aces endure to take home the title.
Wow, 89 minutes total time. It was 6:32 or 7:32 when that last out was recorded at first base, and you kind of hope no Owensboro Catholic players get injured in that pile-up out there as they're obviously fired up. We're going to see the team shake hands, and then there'll be some awards here after the handshake lines. But wow. We were talking about before the game that 2 of the best 3 teams in the region made it, which promised for a good game. And it may not have had the 6th inning explosion that we had sort of anticipated, but not without drama. And the story of Flynn coming back in after his injury, gets drives in the winning run. Just It's an impressive display from both teams, and as great as it feels for Owensboro Catholic, it's going to sting for the Mustangs to have come so close, and only to lose it by 1 in the championship game. Man, sports.
Yeah, last year these Mustangs made it to the championship. They were unable to knock off Apollo in that championship game. They make it to the championship again. They feel like they may have exercised the demons against the Eagles yesterday, and had Owensboro Catholic on the ropes after they took a 2-run lead there in the 3rd inning. But the Aces responded quickly with 2 in the 4th, and the Mustangs will more than likely look back to that bottom of the 6th inning where they had 2 runners on base, 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. And Luke Evans, or excuse me, there's so many Evanses. Luke Quinn, my bad.
You're okay.
Luke Quinn with a tremendous in the top half of the inning. Even after they had their runner thrown out at third base, maybe a momentum killer after Barrett Evans led off with a double. He's thrown out on the sacrifice bunt attempt. The Aces persevered. And Houston Flynn, again, we talked about him leaving the game in the 1st inning. He comes back in the 7th inning, makes the hit probably of his career. I don't want to assume that his career's not over, so he may have a more important hit down the
Yes.
line. But not only does he collect that hit, he also starts the double play in the bottom half of the inning that gets the Aces out of what could have been a potential jam. And not enough can be said about the composure. Again, Owensboro Catholic, it's like Novocaine. Just give it time. It'll work. And it took a little bit longer than they would have wanted, I would think, tonight. But the Aces will walk away with their third region title, which is, again, their third in the last 4 years, as they won it in the 21 season, the 22 season, and now here in the 24 season, as they are setting up some awards that we'll stay here and catch the awards, see who's named to the all-tournament teams, and see the trophy presentation for both the runner-up and winners here on Breck Live. But an awesome game to cap off what has been an awesome 3 days of baseball here at Breckinridge County High School.
And John, that game was so exciting. I just realized I had my sunglasses on the whole time, and I've taken them off now. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Suddenly, my whole world is in color. But wow, I mean, I don't want to use a phrase that's kind of worn a little threadbare, but all that stuff with the steady consistency, Flynn making a big moment, big player making a big moment. That's just what championship teams do, and that was a championship performance. And as the wrappers are coming off the awards, pristine, about to be handed out, we'll see the runner-up trophy, which is one that there's no shame in being second in a region to make it this far. But I watch a lot of soccer, and sometimes in a major final, the team, they'll go get their medals, and the silver medal, those players, they never really put it on because they would have wanted the gold. And that tonight's going to the team in the, you might could call it a goldenrod top, which I do think that was my favorite uniform. I'm glad they brought it back for tonight. It's a nice look.
They're taking their team pictures right now and having the awards set up here. Just going back and looking at some of the past champions that we had here in the third region. Since the year 2000, this is Owensboro Catholic's 6th regional championship. They won it in 2000. They won back-to-back in 2004, 2005. And then they went through a long dry spell for a program like Owensboro Catholic that has produced a lot of Division I college baseball prospects, players. They went through a little bit of a downtime, not necessarily because of their own doing, but in that time frame, Apollo won a lot of region tournaments. Davis County won some region tournaments. Owensboro won a region tournament in that time frame. So when you're in that 9th district, there's a whole lot of stiff competition. From 2005 up until, and I believe this was right, up until 2019, they didn't even make a region tournament. They made the region final that year, but then in 21 and 22, they were able to win back-to-back. So when they win them, they typically win them in bunches, and we'll see if that bodes for next season as well. But
we'll see how they get on at the state level coming up in the near future.
They will be going to Lexington to play at Legends Field starting on June the 7th. The tournament starts on the 6th, but the third region will play on June the 7th. They'll take on the winner of the 13th region. That 13th region just started their tournament yesterday. The two teams that are favored in that one are
I'd say be Corbin and Whitley County.
Yes,
would be
Whitley County was last year's champion of they were the state champion, and Corbin in the same district with them. I think Corbin won the district, but I have a feeling they'll probably see each other in a championship affair.
Yeah, a lot of A lot of teams over there that I'm familiar with. Barberville, Knox Central. Harlan has sort of consolidated a school. For anybody who's interested in southeastern Kentucky lore, ask me about it
Also
sometime.
chosen as an alternate, Austin Stansbury from Meade County High School.
When it comes to Kentucky and popular culture, Harlan usually comes up. You hear a whole lot about Harlan in musical references and TV shows.
Next, we'd
So
like to recognize and present certificates to the players chosen to participate in the KHSBCA Junior
Also
Club
Pineville.
Showcase,
Anybody watching from
which will be held
Pineville,
on June
hello.
12th
Hope you're
at
doing
Center
well.
College.
Hope the family's good.
Brady Atwell from Owensboro Catholic High School.
currently announcing juniors that are participating in postseason, not postseason, but after the
Caden
season,
Ray from
all
Owensboro
like
High
all-star
School.
games. That's Brady Atwell goes out there for the juniors.
Chosen as an alternate, Grayson Smith from Apollo High School.
Grayson Smith from Apollo also announced as he's coming out of the dugout. The first two announced
Also
were
chosen
for
as an alternate,
sophomore
Carter
all-stars.
Kimmel from Apollo High School.
And so it's something exciting for baseball fans in the third region. We see all these guys next year.
A lot of good talent, a lot of young talent that you see, that you've seen over these last 3 days. But it comes down to the bat of a senior to lift the Aces into the state tournament. So
there's your sophomore and junior showcase participants.
So these are sophomore and junior showcase participants.
And now we will recognize
I think the sophomores, there was Levi Meredith and Adam Howell from Edmondson and Breck, respectively.
Coaches and is based on regular season play. A big thank you to the folks at Wright Implement for sponsoring this year's all-region plaques.
And now we have the all-region team. This is through regular season play.
Carter Kimmel.
Okay, so we'll have regular season and then the tournament team. So it'll be two separate ones.
I'm not sure. We'll find out.
I mean, there's a lot of plaques out there on that table.
Carter Kimmel from Apollo. Then we have Camden DeWitt from Breckinridge.
From McLean County, Layden Bozard.
Layden Bozard from McLean County.
Here he's coming out.
From Breckinridge County, Adam Howell.
Adam Howell from Breckinridge County.
Bringing his certificate back with him. Recognized just a little bit ago in that first group.
If they do an all-tournament team, I have a feeling that he'll get another one, as he was one of the top hitters. Austin Stansbury from Meade County. These are all-region.
From Apollo, Grayson Smith.
Apollo's Grayson Smith.
And Stansbury was read out for that all-star team too, but I guess he didn't make the trip.
From Owensboro, Evan Hampton.
Evan Hampton from Owensboro Senior.
From Owensboro, Caden Ray.
Caden Ray also from Owensboro. I don't know if people still call it Owensboro Senior or
From
not.
Muhlenberg County, Eli DeBoer.
I'm sure that everybody listening would be familiar with that nomenclature.
Eli DeBoer from Muhlenberg.
From Owensboro Catholic, Brady Atwell.
Owensboro Catholic's starting catcher, Brady Atwell.
From Edmondson County, Hunter Wilson.
Hunter Wilson. And I misidentified him earlier, that I called him Levi Meredith. I apologize for that, but Hunter Wilson.
From Apollo,
Edmondson.
Noah Cook.
Apollo's Noah Cook.
And the 2024 Third Region Baseball Player of the Year from Muhlenberg County, Peyton Carey.
And the Third Region Player of the Year is the left-hander from Muhlenberg County, Peyton Carey.
Now, something that would be fun, let's get all these guys on the same team. I bet they'd go quite far.
A lot of times you see, like, almost all-star games where you see region versus region sometimes. A lot of times it's based on class, but it would be kind of neat to see that. Assistant Coach of the Year now being recognized.
The 2024 Third Region Baseball Assistant Coach of the Year from Owensboro Catholic, Casey Hamilton.
And Casey Hamilton, the Assistant Coach of the Year from Owensboro Catholic.
And the 2024 Third Region Baseball Coach of the Year from Breckinridge County, Jeremy Bennett.
And the 2024 Coach of the Year of the Third Region is Jeremy Bennett from Breckinridge County. He had a awful, terrible staff to start his career as the head coach here. The only assistant coach he had was me, and I'm thankful that he has been able to last here at Breckinridge County. He's brought a lot of good things. Now we have the all-tournament team, Grayson County's Jaron Van Meter.
And when you were starting that previous sentence, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going nuclear.
No, just on myself.
From Meade County, Bennett Hobbs.
Meade County's Bennett Hobbs, who collected, I believe, 3 hits in their game where they almost upset the Mustangs.
Yeah. Nice to see he came over tonight.
From Edmondson County, Hunter Wilson.
Edmondson County's Hunter Wilson. I believe this is his 3rd accolade that he's collected.
Mm-hmm.
From Ohio County, Eli Hatfield.
Eli Hatfield from Ohio County. And typically with the teams that are eliminated in the first round, they'll get 1. The teams that are eliminated in the second round typically get 2. The runner-up gets 3, and the champion gets 4.
Mm-hmm.
From Apollo, Ross Milburn.
Ross Milburn, excuse me, there from Apollo.
Joining Lanham out there. Teammates.
I believe it was Garrett. Garrett Lanham, is that?
I should know that if it's.
County, Camden DeWitt.
Yeah, Garrett Lanham. From Breckinridge County, Camden DeWitt.
See if your prediction for Howell comes.
From Breckinridge County, Tristan Wicker.
Okay.
Oh, a little bit off there. Tristan Wicker pitched a whale of a ball game in the first round against Ohio County, so
For sure.
Well deserving.
And I can't wait to watch him as he continues to grow. He's only a freshman. He just finished his freshman year.
That's right.
From Muhlenberg County, Talon Cartwright.
Talon Cartwright, who had a tremendous tournament, pitched a really good ball game tonight here as well. He's part of the all-tournament team.
From Muhlenberg County, Peyton Carey.
Peyton Carey, who pitched the game of the third region tournament in the semifinals.
From Muhlenberg County, Sumner Shelton.
And Sumner Shelton, who pitched the first game for the Mustangs. Scored a run in this championship game as well. Barrett Evans, the first member from Owensboro Catholic.
From Owensboro Catholic, Mason Moser.
Mason Moser, the second member.
From Owensboro Catholic, Luke Quinn.
Luke Quinn, the third.
And from Owensboro Catholic, Deuce Sims.
And Mitchell Deuce Sims. All four of those playing vital roles in the 3 victories that Owensboro Catholic was able to come through with on over the last 3 days here from Fighting Tiger Field.
And you know, I feel like I don't want to speak for every Breckinridge County person, but I've really enjoyed hosting this thing. It's been a lot of fun. I say I did it, but just being able to do that and being able to do this on Breck Live through our YouTube channel, I've just had a really fun 3 days. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
We've had the whole day is blocked off for the last 3 days, and had a great time out here. Great weather, very well hosted here by Breckinridge County, as we have our runner-up trophy presented to the Muhlenberg County Mustangs. The Mustangs will end their season at 28-8, ranked in the final regular season poll of the coaches poll at number 18. A great season that comes to an end maybe a little bit earlier than they would have liked, but
advancing to next week's KHSAA Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament.
But the Owensboro Catholic Aces did what they had to do in order to advance.
The Owensboro Catholic Aces.
And they will take their trophy back to Owensboro, and they will start preparing for their next game, which will be June the 7th in Lexington, as they'll take on the winner of the 13th region. They'll find out that depending on weather and whatnot, they'll figure out who they're playing probably by the end of the month. I think the 31st is when that final is scheduled for. But yeah, just to echo what Rob said there, it's been a joy being able to bring you all of the games that we've had here, all 7 of them. We've had some that have gotten out of hand, but for the most part, we've had some really good baseball from some really good baseball teams. Excellent plays all throughout, and everybody should go home with their head held high, as Owensboro Catholic will take the big trophy home with them, and they'll advance on, Rob.
Yeah, and that's just been a game today, lived up to everything we could have asked for in a championship game. The excitement from the first pitch to the last. And just, best of luck to the Aces representing our region in the state tournament. And, John, I got to say, we should do this again sometime in the future.
I would enjoy nothing more, as I would love to see more of these types of events out here. If we could host this one every year, I'd love to take this seat with you any day. So we'd like to thank everybody that tuned in. Just as a reminder, if you enjoyed what you watched, then hey, go back and watch it again. All these games will be you can go back and stream them again on YouTube, thanks to the Breck Live crew that we have with us. So one thing I would like to say before we go off, I would like to thank Elena Wright for the work that she did Monday with us. Wasn't able to be with us the last couple of nights, but I would like to thank her and for basically taking her whole Memorial Day to be with us. So thanks. Hope you're enjoying your vacation. And I think that will put a bow on it, Rob. So
that's it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Let me just jump all over your out right there. Say Elena did way better at the scoreboard than I did. Sorry about that scoreboard glitch in the championship game. Sorry. As you were.
But
you were saying.
So we're gonna close down shop here. Good luck to the Aces as they move along, and be sure to check in on Breck Live as we'll start into the 24-25 athletic season. It will happen before you know it. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And until we see you again, take care.